Yeah. Okay. So, quick. I suppose I'm a novice teacher. I qualified in March, and I'm a skipper of a boat. I run sailing charters, and I've got my first yoga sale this week coming, and I've been doing like well-being trips over the summer, and sort of now going into obviously my quiet time. But I'm looking to sort of basically change from doing the sailing charters as like pure sailing and doing more of a fusion of yoga and sailing and well-being. I also am a tenant of a croft here, and so can bring that into the mix. But like I have I suppose at this stage it's like I have my charter business website, and it's like, how do I sort of promote the yoga, getting to sort of trying to get into the yoga area as opposed to just the sailing charters? It's like how to access kind of that side of things, because I suppose, yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm just double checking. Is it Selkie Explorers? Is that your website?
Yeah, that's my website. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So one of the things you've sort of not done it yet, but I'll just make sure I'm on the homepage here.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I haven't done because I've been working the season.
Right. So it's okay. Let me quickly share this because it's useful sometimes for other people to see as well. So whenever I sort of do web checks for people, one of the most common things when you've got somebody who's doing multiple different things is it becomes very confusing about what this is. So back to that thing I was saying earlier, that people are under 3 seconds now to make a decision. So if I come on right now for this, for example, I pretty much see sailing, I see retreats. If I scroll down a little bit, it's all about, yeah, okay, exploring, sailing. So there's no concept in my head right now at all of yoga or anything else. So I think my number one advice would be clear on what you're offering and who you're targeting, not mix things up. Like there's a difference between, hey, as part of this exploration, we'll do a yoga session every morning, and then we'll maybe eat some healthy food or whatever it might, or we'll do some fishing or something like that. That's different than selling yoga. So I would suggest these are possibly 2 different businesses. I don't understand the model enough. I need to sit longer with you and figure the model, but I can tell you at a first glance, if I would not introduce yoga into the mix here, because I think it becomes very confusing. It's not, right now it's fairly clear what this is, Selkie Explorers. I think it could be even clearer, it could be even more exciting because it actually looks amazing. I've got to say, it looks, getting in nature, exploring, I fancy it. I'll probably sign up. But if you start mixing yoga into the mix with that, it becomes like, who are you serving? The question always is, who am I serving? So you don't, people talk about money with yoga, but the easiest way to make money is to serve people. Serve before you sell, but you've got to be clear on who you're serving. So right now, your website is quite clear on who you're serving, but you start throwing yoga into this mix, then you could end up negatively affecting your existing business in both businesses, because it's like, it's not clear.
Well, what I really want to do is move into kind of the yoga, that it's much more about the yoga and the well-being than about the sailing. I mean, yes, the sailing is part of it, but as opposed to it being a sailing holiday, it's kind of accessing and connecting using the boat.
Okay.
But yoga is kind of the central theme through it.
All right, so my solution to that is I wouldn't affect your existing brand. I'd leave that there and I'd create a new brand that's yoga retreats. A separate website, and I would go, this is all about the yoga. And hey, by the way, added values, we're on boats, and added values, we're doing X, Y, and Z, but it's about yoga. Okay. Right now, and this site's nice. I haven't touched this site because it may still bring in some business or whatever. So I'd leave Selkie Explorers, and even though it might initially be the same thing you're doing, it's the focus is twisted. So the focus, instead of being about sailing and exploring, it's the focus is yoga. And hey, by the way, as part of that, we do sailing and exploring, but the focus is yoga. So create a secondary brand and create a secondary website, and they can link. You can have links between the two. That's okay. and just change the focus. It's just perception. You're just flipping the focus from exploring and sailing. So instead of the external exploration, move to the internal exploration, which is yoga. Or you can even talk about stuff like that if you wanted to cross brand. Hey, come and do Selkie Explorers for external exploration. Come and do yoga retreats for internal exploration. Find yourself. Whole bunch of stuff. You can have amazing stuff around this because the images are so powerful. Nature is so powerful. Nature feeds into yoga. There's a definite synergy between the two, but create the two brands so they're standalone, but they also speak to each other. That's what I would do. It looks amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, that's such good information because I mean, obviously now with the winter coming up, it's when you start on the other projects.
Yeah, and by the way, you're spot on. We're doing a talk about this, that people say, oh, everyone, December's dead for yoga. Absolutely right, it usually is. But it's a great time to plan. You're spot on. It's a great time to sit and plan and get everything in place for 2023. It makes a huge difference. A lot of people, especially, well, you know this post-COVID and all this sort of stuff, people more and more are looking for retreats, and you could have an amazing retreat program here that you could also invite other yoga teachers. You could possibly invite big yoga teachers. I'd think big. When I first started inviting big international teachers to Union, everyone told me nobody would come. Everyone was like, nobody, why would they come? And it's amazing. The minute you mentioned Scotland, so many of these big teachers like, wow, Scotland, I've got relatives, you know, my heritage is Scottish. And that, before you know it, people were like, hey, yeah, you know what, I'm going to come. And everyone said to me, they'll never come, they'll never come. And I was just like, hey, you should come, you've got this amazing space. So you could have a whole thing that it's not just you doing these retreats, you could pull in experienced teachers, big name teachers, you've got the environment. And you've got so much added value with your knowledge of the area, the knowledge of sailing. I mean, that's a great added bonus. Like, come and do a yoga retreat and learn how to sail or go on a sailboat, learn how to fish. I mean, this is incredible stuff. You've already got huge uniqueness here that nobody else has got just by what you're doing. This is a great project. I'd be super excited at this.
Oh, I'd love to talk to you some more then, because I'm a little bit out of my depth when it comes to the business side.
Well, I tell you, you're onto something just by the fact of where you're situated and what you've done and your experience. It's great.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's great. Really good information. And in October, I will probably be in touch.
Absolutely, honestly, reach out anytime because it really is quite an exciting project. That I think I think people would love this, honestly. It's the idea of kind of going away from society for a bit and just, honestly, great. It's really good.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.